When I was in middle school, there was a guy named Dennis, and I looked up to Dennis. He was 4 years older than me, and he was the one that led our Bible study groups. And I looked up to him because for a high school student, he seemed to have so much knowledge and so much wisdom. And I really wanted to be like him. So what I ended up doing was just basically copy exactly what he did and basically learning everything I could from him so that I could be him. When I was in high school, well, I played the violin in our high school orchestra. My senior year, there was a girl named Angela that I just couldn't beat. She was always first chair, and no matter how hard I practiced, or the lack thereof, I didn't really practice that much, but I always felt discouraged and let down when I wasn't first chair or I wasn't the concert master that year. I guess what I learned from middle school and high school is that comparing yourself to others is not very sustainable, and it's not very helpful, and to be honest, it doesn't feel very good. I remember the days where every single day I wake up and I'm trying to fill like someone else's shoes. I'm trying to be that person. I remember in high school, I always compared myself to others. What is so-and-so doing right now? Is he studying? Maybe I should be studying too. Kind of following in like smart people's footsteps. Oh, they're doing this extracurricular activity, maybe I should join a club too. I always found myself comparing myself to others, essentially trying to be them. And I actually wrote that in my personal statement, just about me comparing myself to others and how I'm always let down in that regard. I guess going into college, the personality of a pre-med student is essentially that. It is bunkering down, comparing yourself to others, always feeling that you're not good enough, always feel that burden, always feel that pressure that's on top of you. It's like, I'm not trying hard enough, I'm not working hard enough, I'm not smart enough. You're always doubting yourself because you're always comparing yourself to others. And that means you're in your man cave, you're studying all day, you're not partying, you're not having fun, you're not hanging out with your friends. I realized that's not sustainable. I did that at the beginning of freshman year at Northwestern, and it just did not work out. Everyone had their own, I guess, learning styles. Everyone had their own ways to study. I always tried to mirror what they're doing because it seemed like they were successful in this regard. They studied 8 hours a day. If I studied 8 hours a day, I would probably get the same score. And I found out it's not really cookie cutter like that. I guess throughout the years of college and with COVID hitting and me being in my room just reflecting a lot, I realized that even though I can't become Dennis or I can't be as good as Angela, the only person that I needed to compare to was myself. And I can't be the best Dennis and I can't be the best Angela because I'm neither of them. I am my own person. I know what is best for me. And yeah, I just have to be the best me. And I found so much relief in that. I don't have to be perfect. I don't think anyone is calling me to be perfect. And I guess I just realized that I needed to work towards the best version of myself. That doesn't necessarily mean perfection. I'm far from perfect and I don't think I'll ever be perfect. For me, there are ways to improve. There are ways to be a better person than I was yesterday. And for me, it's been 10 weeks in medical school. One of the main things I've been doing is to kind of establish my consistency in my studies and focus on my time management. And I feel good. In the first couple of weeks, I was scrambling. I didn't really know what to expect, even though I asked a lot of second year medical students of how it was gonna go. But everyone experiences things differently, so I really just had to figure it out for myself and kind of, and kind of just find areas where I need to improve personally. And for me, that was consistency. Honestly, kudos to me. I'm just gonna congratulate myself. I'm just gonna give myself a pat on the back. I've been making videos for 10 weeks straight. I don't even go to the gym for like 3 days in a row. So I feel really proud of myself for making videos and dedicating the time for me to kind of journal this down. Just kind of share my thoughts in front of this camera that I stole from Fred. I probably need to give back. But yeah, I'm honestly very surprised that I'm still doing this and I haven't really dropped the ball yet. And each and every week that I make a new video, I somehow just surprise myself. I'm like, I'm doing a good job and I'm on the right track. And I've found myself not really thinking about comparing myself to others in medical school. Surely I've had my fair share of first year med students so far that are very gunner, very hardcore, and they're always like, can't believe I missed this, blah, blah, blah. Like after the exam, they're always talking about like what answers they got wrong. I have a more positive outlook now. I take everything one step at a time, and once I'm finished with that step, I tend to kind of look forward. So after my exams, I always just like go home and kind of just rest, go on YouTube for a little bit, watch some TV. Dr. Dean said it best. You don't get your scores back immediately, at least for this first block during human structure. So just assume that you got 100 for the weekend and you should be set, because you really can't change anything about your grade. You already took it, and it's definitely a lot better to have a weekend where you feel like you're on top of the world versus like, oh, I just bombed that exam, like I'm just gonna like sulk for the next weekend, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, these 10 weeks have been really good, and I guess I'm pretty proud of myself to be so far in.
That's what she said.
And my mood is up, I'm happy, I'm having a good time. And I've come to realize that it's all about your mentality. Medical school can be stressful, it is stressful, and it's just how you deal with your stress. And I feel like I've dealt with my stress pretty well, and I'm fortunate enough to have that privilege. And I guess this video is kind of a reminder for you guys and for me not to compare myself to others. When I slip up, that is something I tend to do. And I guess the main thing is that the only person that I should be comparing myself to, and I guess you should be comparing yourself to, just to yourself, and finding ways to improve, finding ways to be better each and every single day. And honestly, if you can find a way to be 1% better than you were yesterday, it's kind of like interest for like your bank loans or something. It's compound. I don't know anything about econ. So if you think about it mathematically from like a STEM perspective, if you can focus on one thing to improve and focus on improving just 1% of your day, it may not seem like a lot the day of or maybe even the week of, but you give it a couple months, give it a couple years, and all of those improvements will compound. I'm still working on that. I'm starting from the bottom. My baseline is very low right now. I'm playing a lot of video games. I'm still trying to manage my time wisely, but I just need 1%. So today I'm gonna try and find something where I can improve by 1%. Just to improve myself, compare myself right now with who I was yesterday. And hopefully that will be a great blueprint for me to do well in medical school. But yeah, I kind of just rambled for a little bit. It was just something that was on my mind. If you have any comments or thoughts about it, you can comment down below. I'll try to answer them all. Actually, I do answer them all. There's like 3 replies per video. But fall break is coming up. I will be going back to Evanston to visit some of my friends and my girlfriend. And yeah, I will see you next week.